Hello, it's Chris Voss here from the Chris Voss Show.com, the Chris Voss Show.com. Hey, guess what? We've got the new gold iPhone 6 Plus. We're going to review it. And, of course, we've been reviewing the iPhone 6 today at the at&T store, so be sure to look at our other videos. Give us a subscribe and a like. Let's get into our review of the iPhone 6 Plus. One thing we wanted to mention on it is the battery that's in the iPhone 6 Plus is definitely nice. It's definitely wonderful to have that much larger battery. It just seems to last forever, and that makes all the difference. So, let's take a look at what we think. Okay, the first thing you're going to notice with the iPhone 6 Plus, and the iPhone 6 for that matter, is it's got these beveled edges basically taper off around the side, giving it kind of a rounded, or completing the rounded effect that you get from front and back. It really gives a feeling of thinness to the phone that makes it feel thinner than it really is. But you will be surprised when you get the phone that it is incredibly thin, which makes it very nice and beautiful. It's the first thing that will probably come to your mind and your eyes, you feel it. It's definitely not that heavy when it comes down to it, even the Plus, as big as it is with the bigger battery and everything. And it's just very beautiful with its rounded edges and everything else. The only downside of the rounded edges are it tends to be fairly slippery. There's not that flat edge that you have with the 5 and 5S to go with, and you're definitely going to want a case for this because you're going to slip this out of your hand. It's just completely rounded on the edges. Does that make it bad? No. It makes it a very beautiful looking case and very awesome to look at. You're probably not going to see the case much, of course, once you put it into an iPhone case, but you definitely want to protect your investment really when it comes down to it also. The other reason you're going to want a case is you can see that the camera eye sticks out quite a bit. And, well, it is a sapphire lens. It's supposed to be protected against scratches. The LG G2 and I believe the G3 has sapphire scratches, and there's been reports of those lenses scratching. So it is possible to scratch a sapphire lens cover. And while they put one on the iPhone's 6s, definitely you want to get this thing covered up with a case to protect it. We laid the phones flat on their backs and found that even with the small amount that it juts forward, it's going to be laying against whatever surface you put it on. And if you put it on a surface that ends up scratching it, well, there you go. They just want your camera on your iPhone. So you definitely want a protective case for those two reasons. But the camera does a good job. It seems to be slightly improved over what the camera was last time. You can see here the buttons are beautifully done. They've got this nice finish to them. I like how the mute switch is smaller and kind of out of your way. Not really a hassle to deal with. On the bottom, they kind of have some bigger area for the speaker. And you've got, of course, a bigger area for a microphone here, and also a bigger microphone in the back on the camera eye. They also made this kind of smaller, the flash element, so that's probably good. I'm sure they've improved the quality. But you can see here we've got a gold one here. So definitely a beautiful experience. You can also notice, probably by now, it's got the flip from horizontal to portrait mode that you would have with a lot of phablets or that you would have with tablets. And that's indicative of the Plus. This isn't something that I believe runs on the iPhone 6 normally. This is definitely an iPhone 6 Plus feature. I still haven't figured out if there's a way for me to turn it off. I'm sure there is, and I just haven't found it in the settings yet. But it works for me so far because I'm used to it with phablets that I have and other mobile phones. It definitely does the job in being able to accomplish what iOS accomplished. A little disappointed in the speed. It doesn't seem like the A8 is that speedy. Of course, it's rendering a whole lot more 1080p, of course, bigger everything when it comes to screen. So definitely there's a whole lot more work that has to be done than you would have to do in older iPhones. And I think Apple was honest with this when they told us, you know, there wasn't a big change up in speed and everything else. Downloads seem to take maybe a little bit longer to download apps and install them than from the iPhone 5S. I don't feel that's a bad thing. I'm just giving you the ideas of my impressions so far, how they've worked. I would have expected with a faster processor that things would improve, but keep in mind, it is fair to say that, you know, Apple's increased the size of this, so there's much more rendering that has to take place in drawing a big screen. The camera does a good job. The video does a good job also. The video, one thing I've been impressed by is the shaking ability to keep from shaking on video, to get good video quality and anti-shake. So that does a really good job. Been impressed with that. Not a lot of shake on the video. So good stuff there. The camera seems to be about the same, slightly better. I haven't seen anything really that impressed me too much on the quality of the camera. There's some different features, of course, where you can heart or put things that you like. You can do some more in the editing section. You do have camera burst too, which is very interesting, and it's very fast. You can hold it down, boom, boom, boom. Look at that baby go. You can bang off a lot of pictures, and it will help you pick the best picture too, which is very interesting. So there's that feature. There's also the new time-lapse. Slow-mo, of course, has been enhanced to, I believe, 240 frames per second. There's the new time-lapse thing. It's kind of set up to where it goes at its own speed and takes pictures and stuff. So I haven't got a chance to play with that much, but I am definitely interested in it and how it works. So overall, I like the iPhone 6 Plus. It definitely looks very nice. It's beautifully done. I like how the finish the gold or the silver or black goes to both ends. There's these white slats on the back, so that made a difference for me in the look of it also and how it worked. Overall, definitely just a beautiful device and a great offering from Apple, and I don't think iOS users or Apple users are going to be disappointed at all with this. In fact, I think it's a wonderful improvement over the iPhone 5 and 5S. And the Apple, of course, iPhone 4 and 4S. So there you have it. Highly recommend it. I would get the iPhone 6 Plus if you are in the market for it. I definitely like the 1080p screen. It's not quite as sharp as some of the other screens that I've seen when it comes to PPI, but it definitely does a good job. And the PPI is much better on the iPhone 6 Plus than on just the plain iPhone 6. So I definitely recommend that you get the full 1080p experience on the iPhone 6 Plus. It's definitely thin, so it doesn't feel as bulky onto your pocket, and maybe that can make a difference for some people that aren't into phablets. But it really is up to your taste and what you want to have it achieve. There's definitely a whole lot more in iOS 8, but we won't really get into that because that's not specific to the iPhone 6 review. Definitely like the phone. So if you're an Apple fan, this is a wonderful offering, and it does a great job of putting forth a new phone that's going to kick butt for you. So be sure to give us a like, subscribe to us on YouTube, watch for the reviews we're going to do. We're going to compare this side by side with about 30 other phones that we get from all the major carriers. Thanks for coming by the ChrisVossShow.com. Be sure to check back in often.